The mysteries of the ancient world are still with us. They are still flying around in our skies. Sometimes falling out of the skies. Sometimes they can be studied. Sometimes we can dig bodies up that date from that time and try to figure them out. But let's dive a little deeper and look at a few of the mysteries of the ancient world and how they may or may not connect to some of the mysteries going on today. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Yeah, the governments of today are hiding and suppressing the truth of the UFO reality and the phenomenon in general. But we have historically so much information to look at, and they can't hide all of that. Although, of course, they can minimize it and trivialize it, and make any connotations associated with UFOs fringy, which of course is what they are trying to do, and have been doing successfully for many years. But we can ignore the mainstream disinformation and look at what's really going on. The Boogosphere, the dating that has been done on it so far suggests that this thing is over 12,000 years old, 12,500 years old, dating back to the Younger Dryas period. I was going to say cataclysm, which is still speculative, but yeah, the Younger Dryas cataclysm and the theoretical fall of Atlantis. Did Atlantis exist? Well, something definitely seems to have existed. We have, megalithic structures all over the world with the same architecture. We have, the same statues, the same pyramidal formations all over the world. Again, there seems to be some sort of global connection all over the world that should not have existed. We have writing from this is Easter Island writing from this guy right here, which is really interesting because Easter Island has a figure on it, a bird, humanoid bird holding an orb that directly mirrors a similar or almost exact image of a humanoid bird holding an orb at Göbekli Tepe. Again, these things are thousands of miles apart. One of them's, way out in the sea somewhere, and they have the same images. So you have the same pyramids, you have the same architecture, you have all of that going on back in the ancient day. Either that's Atlantis or some other prehistoric civilization with a global presence and obviously advanced technology to allow them to go across around the world. And or that's, ET or, the phenomenon. Or very possibly a combination of both. I think we're looking at a combination of both here. But look at these guys, these lizard guys. In southern Iraq, according to UFO Mania, archaeologists uncovered 7,000-year-old statues from the pre-Sumerian Ubaid culture from 5500 to 4000 BC that depict humanoid figures with reptilian features, elongated skulls, slanted eyes, and strange facial structures. Found across Tel al-Ubaid, and Urido, these enigmatic artifacts suggest a sophisticated society that developed architecture, agriculture, and governance long before the rise of Sumerian cities. Some statues wear helmets, hold scepters, or even depict female figures nursing reptilian babies. Yeah, nursing reptilian babies. Is that what's going on right here? Could be. I didn't think that reptilians nursed, so that's interesting. Now, according to ChatGPT, the lizard figurines really are Ubaid, not Sumerian, and they're a few thousand years earlier than classic Sumer. Now, why am I harping on Sumer? Well, obviously because that's the Anunnaki, right? Most of you guys are familiar with legends about the Anunnaki. You may not know all the specifics. A lot of us get things a little confused looking at Zecharia Sitchin, who kind of made up a lot of stuff or interpreted things in his own way, which may not necessarily be exactly what the texts say. The whole Nibiru thing, the texts don't mention where the Anunnaki came from. But yeah, the figurines come from the same region An Ubaid culture is one of the main foundation on which Sumerian civilization grew, which is why you see them talked about together. The Anunnaki show up in written sources only after writing is invented, with the earliest clear references coming from around late 3rd millennium BC, although the gods later grouped as Anunnaki clearly go back into an earlier pre-literate cult. And that's kind of the problem, with the Anunnaki, or understanding the Anunnaki, is that we don't know how far back they go back. They go back until the earliest days of writing in that area. So, we don't know, how far they went back before that, right? But if the pre-Sumerian Ubaid culture from 5,000 years ago was potentially interacting with non-human beings, and then a couple thousand years later, the guys from that culture or related cultures that could write were depicting contact with, non-human beings. That is really, really interesting. And really interesting that it falls in that exact time period. Why? Because 5,000 years BC was the earliest known Nazca mummy. That's right, on the other side of the world, we have non-human beings interacting with humans. The giant Nazca beings that may have been 10 or more feet tall are the earliest known Nazca beings. We only have their hands, their 3 or so giant severed hands. And one of my favorite images of all time is Eric Burleson, a sitting congressman, holding one of these giant severed hands. I just love it. But yeah, around the same time period, we have potentially non-human beings interacting with the Sumerian or pre-Sumerian peoples. Also, at the exact same time, interacting with the Nazca people. Really, really fascinating, right? And you can see the connections again, from Cambodia, in Guatemala, the exact same sort of temple or pyramid. And of course, you get the same sorts of figurines, very, very similar to each other all over the world. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting that the earliest Nazca beings are right in line with when these non-human beings would be in ancient Sumeria. Are those the Anunnaki? Is this fella an Anunnaki? Did this lady, if she's nursing a baby, did they pave the way for the Anunnaki? The Nazca beings seem to be hybrids of some sort. Did these guys create them? Are these guys also hybrids? Did the phenomenon or the intelligence or intelligences behind the phenomenon create multiple distinct races of beings to interact with humans here on Earth? Or did they create them to interact? Was that just a byproduct of whatever else they were here for? Mining or, who knows what, right? Did they ultimately create us? I don't know, but the evidence is out there. It is growing. It is mounting. We've got freaking UFOs now with writing on it. And the writing on it may be related to ancient peoples in the Russian area that came to India and became absorbed and also influenced and informed the culture of India. And we have the connection with the third eye. The peoples of India place a great importance on the third eye. And the beings in Nazca also seem to have placed a similar importance on the third eye, with multiple of them having implants in the third eye area. Why does a UFO that crashed in Colombia have writing on it that might be ancient Indian or ancient Russian, whoever those guys were? Is this the writing of Atlantis? Did they, distribute writing around the world, or concepts of writing, or, a language that, predated writing? What was going on there? I would love to know your thoughts on it. Obviously, there's a huge time gap. We have some information for what was going on, 4,000, 5,000 BC. We have a lot more after they developed writing a couple thousand years later. But obviously, we have Göbekli Tepe, which is 5,000 to 6,000 years earlier than our earliest information about the pre-Sumerian peoples and their interaction with non-human beings. So was there constant interaction between non-human beings and humans during all those thousands of years? What exactly was going on back in the day? There's kind of a huge dark age, a huge gap in our information. And obviously, pre-Göbekli Tepe, pre-fall of Atlantis, there is an even bigger information gap. And in fact, there's basically nothing there, or very little. I mean, who knows how old the pyramids are, for example, and what is beneath them, and how old that might turn out to be. I can't wait to find out. Anyway, I just wanted to share some thoughts with you and some information. These guys were around back then. Some of them are still around today. Some of their UFOs, whether those are human created or otherwise, are still flying around in our skies today. We are now digging up bodies from the Nazca area. Hopefully, we'll find bodies from elsewhere. We are today starting to uncover some of the mysteries of the ancient world. So let's try to connect some dots. Let me know your favorite theories in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store. Become a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really do appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.